All the focus in trying to, pick your course, choose the right course, what university you will study, thinking about your external exams, and then you move into 2027. Your first exam that will hit you is what? Jam. I, all of you jam, and then all of you have over 350 as your score, and then all of you would not watch any movie anymore. All of you will be reading like 10 hours every day. So yeah, you do what it takes to get over 350. You just do what you need to take. So we're going to look at my career and university options, and then the other subject has to do with being patriotic. What does being patriotic mean? Loving and being loyal to your great country. Top universities home and abroad. We have some great universities now in our country, and then scholarship options. Sometimes you want to go to an Ivy League school, but the tuition fee might be way beyond your parents' budgets. Get what I mean? So you might need certain discounts. And sometimes you put yourself in a better advantage if you have a very good what? Good grade, good results. You are much more viable as a scholarship candidate once you have an impressive result. I know somebody who was a former student of this school who got a full scholarship to Howard University in Washington, D.C. to study, is it electrical engineering. All right, all tuition fee paid, accommodation paid, feeding paid. All he needed to do was just land in America before Donald Trump closed the borders. And he was able to land in America. All right, and he studied, he has finished his first semester. All right, so some schools in Nigeria also give scholarship. Nile University, which is like the senior secondary school of Starvey School, it also gives scholarships. Some students have gotten scholarship there. So when you go to Nile University, you meet a lot of your past students. Some of them might even end up lecturing there. There's nothing wrong with that, lecture. Anyways, how to apply and write a SOP, statement of purpose, and then, hopefully that will give you clarity as to your university options. In choosing a course, you have to consider some few things. All right. How much would you earn when you start working in that profession? When that profession becomes your career? Top universities of the world, tuition fee and minimal. What is the highest paid job in our country in terms of salary? You can earn money in many other things. Politics. People don't really consider politics, in the category of a salary kind of job, because the kind of money you get in politics is not, it's not right. So politicians are in a different category. But in terms of the normal professional collar jobs in Nigeria, lawyers. All right. It's kind of hard to tell actually. But according to this stat, it's an old stat by the way, 2022. Surgeons, the medical field, aeronautic engineering, software developer, pilots, medical doctor, lawyer, judges, bank manager, those who work in the oil sector. All right. This is salary-based job. You can get money many other ways. If you have a product or you have a service, if you're a social media influencer, someone like Pella or Kata Ife, they make some kind of money. Last time Kata Ife was fighting with or Portable, and to watch that video, you have to subscribe or whatever it is. So there are other ways to make income, but these are stable, monthly salary kind of income. That is why most parents, most African parents, not only Africa, most Chinese parents, most European parents want their children to study medicine. There are like 5 major courses that they push their children to study. Medicine is one of them. Which other one? Engineering, law is one of them. Of course, ICT. Tech. And what's the last one? Maybe. Choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. What does that mean? Once your course or your choice of career is in alignment to your skill, all right, what you have gift or passion or talent in, then it becomes like a fish in water. All right, a fish cannot say, "I'm tired of swimming; it's stressful." That's the field. That's the world. It is only when a cheetah gets into the water that the cheetah can start saying, "This swimming is tiring." But put the cheetah back on the field, on land, and it glides. So that way, you also have to think about that in choosing your career. Make careful decision. In outside Nigeria, top paying job, anesthesiologist, is a very critical job. Those are the people involved in injecting you in the right place to do what? To numb your body so they can perform whatever they want to perform on you and you won't feel the pain. And sometimes if they get it wrong, it can paralyze you. Sometimes some of the injection they give is around the spinal cord area. So you have to know what you are doing. The error of margin must be zero. No mistake, no stories. In other medical world, sometimes you find doctors forgetting part of their tools or sewing the vein with the skin or just some medical error. A lot of people have died due to what? Mistakes. Even in design buildings, engineering buildings, where they will build the house and there will be cracks because of human error. So there's some field where you have to reduce human error to zero. So medicine is almost one of the most stable jobs outside this country. And that's why there have been some brain drain recently in African countries where a lot of medical professionals have what? Relocated for greener pastures. Other parts of the world that would appreciate their profession and give them the kind of income that, would make them very, very comfortable. So you see surgery, obstetricians, gynecologists, orthodontists, oral and maxillofacial surgeons, psychiatrists, prosthodontists, family medicine physicians, general internal medicine physicians, and then nurse anesthetists. Then you have pilots, general pediatrician, other occupations. Again, when it comes to choosing a career, you have to consider what? You have to consider income. All right. It's only smart for you to consider how viable, how marketable, this field is when you go into it. What will really distinguish you at the end of the day is your diligence. All right, being dogged, being gritty. If you are extremely hardworking, you can almost become financially independent in whatever field you find yourself in. Do you understand? If you're not hardworking, even if you're in a very good field, you won't maximize the potential of that field. So your goal at the end of the day is to strive to be what? Tips to consider in choosing a career. Is your career choice your choice? I think some students went for a debate, I don't know what school, and it borders between the subjects of should parents choose your career or should it be left to you to make your decision? Most parents influences the decision of their children when it comes to choosing a career. Not out of selfish interest per se, but because probably they've lived long enough to know what works, what doesn't work. All right, but they should also consider your what? They should also consider your opinion in making a final decision. Consider what subjects you are effortlessly good at. Very critical. You should know by now the kind of subject that you understand easily, or you will get. You understand. You get to pick a textbook without so much explanation. You understand what the subject is trying to teach you. You will glide easily when you choose a career in that field, so you're not struggling. What are the career options related to that subject? There are many career options in the science world. All right, a lot. So what I'm trying to tell you is that do a lot of what? Research, please. I didn't do that. I don't think I did any research. Zero research. My mom just gave me admission letter. Hey, you're studying geology in this university. And I just found myself in university. I was frustrated. I was struggling because I was not in my place. I didn't like the field. But my mom told me that you're going to work in an oil company and you make a lot of money. Don't worry. The same thing, master's degree. I did something similar to my first degree. But right now, I would never use that degree or knowledge. Never. Never. Is it a total waste? No. It's part of the reason I breasted performance enhancement coaching. I told myself I'll come back to Nigeria and I'll go to schools and I'll try to enlighten the students about career choices, about life in general. So they won't make the same decision. If I had a pet teacher when I was in year 11, year 12, maybe I'll have made a better decision. So I'm the sacrificial lamb so that you don't make the wrong decision. How much money can you make in the identify career options? Are there present or future challenges? What would AI do in the next 5 years, 10 years to certain profession? How do we position ourselves in the right, space such that, regardless the advent of technology, we are still relevant in the kind of course we've studied? Talk to career advisors. Do a lot of research. Do you understand what I'm saying? Be very curious. Do a lot of what? Research. Read a lot before you choose a particular field to study. Look at future prospects. What would happen in 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Where is the world tending towards? What is the trend? You can ask a lot of questions. Ask a lot of people that, your parents know, family friends, and just talk to them about career choices. What you are doing, you are gathering what? Data to make informed decision. Few reflective question. What would you do if you didn't have to work for the rest of your life? In what aspects would you like more knowledge in? In other words, what would you like to study more? Ask your parents and teachers what subject they think you are very good at. Maybe your parents might know. They've been observing your results for a while now. Maybe your teachers would know. What subjects and career do you think you would excel exceptionally in? And lastly, is there anyone you could speak to who is already in the field you intend to pursue a career in? If yes, ask them to tell you what it takes to succeed in that career. These are some ways you can make, decent inquiries so you can make better options for yourself. At the end of the day, it's your what? It's your life. If your parents choose it for you, they will not leave it for you. You will live that life you've made that decision in. All right, so we want to be very, very, very intentional in doing as much research as possible. The goal isn't more money. Is that true? The goal is more money. Listen, don't let all this quotes deceive you. The goal is more what? The goal is living a life on your terms with more money. So let us be clear about that. All right, money gives you good options to help the society. Look at what's happening now. A private company bought Jabi Lake Mall or Jabi Lake Park, and they're trying to transform it into a resort. All right, bring a kind of Dubai or New York into Abuja. If they knock it off, it's going to be something new. All right, in Abuja City. Fingers crossed, they will do the right thing. That right thing can be done with what? In money. Do what you love and success will follow. Passion is the fuel behind a successful career. Passion makes you go through the phase where it's boring, where it's tough. But because we are into it, a footballer will keep training despite the injuries. A basketballer will keep, bouncing that ball like 10,000 bounce per day. Pick two balls and bounce 1,000 despite the aches and pain. Why? Because he wants to improve his ball handling what? Skills. He wants to throw the ball even with eyes closed and it make a basket. So all these things would only be possible if there's this key element there called what? Passion. Passion makes difficult tasks easy to bear. All right, let's move to our next. In the next 10 minutes, we're going to be looking at being patriotic. I love this topic so much. Why? Because it talks about you remaining in Nigeria, refusing to jackpot. How many of you want to, how many of us want to relocate? You want to change to where? To where? Canada, Jamaica, Germany, Netherlands. Those nice sounding names. United States of America, where there's gun, everybody's strapped. You can go to the mall. Someone just a man killed 8 children. How many of you saw the news? Because he has a friction with his wife. I think they were going through a divorce. He killed all of them and killed the wife, killed himself. He's a former veteran. I don't mind. You see, they call United States of America the learner's paradise, meaning you get to learn whatever field of choice you've chosen. But the only disadvantage is just the access to guns. Almost everybody, you can't. People have walked into schools, hospital, cinema. I mean, is there nowhere they've not been mass shooting? So that's the only issue. All right, well, what other country? There are some countries that don't take people, anyways. Countries like Luxembourg, one of the wealthiest countries in the world, it's very hard to relocate to that country. They don't really take immigrants. But there's a beautiful country that most people do not know. It's like a pearl in the depths. It's like a hidden treasure. What? This is Italy. A beautiful, nobody knows. I mean, if you want to japa, it's to Nigeria. Nigeria is the country. It's the best kept secret. Let me tell you about Nigeria. Nigeria was bettered quite a long time ago. We're getting our independence on the 1st of October. There's beautiful 36 states. We're going to be looking at the Nigerian finest and things about Nigeria that is, worth considering as a place to live in. It has the most historical cultures and empires than any other African nation. For 60 years, our beautiful country was a British colony. Nigeria was so desired that the British government decided to come and what? Not only explore, to come and do what? Invade. To come and take all the beautiful treasures that we have. A thief will not go to an incompleted building where there are no treasures. Do you understand what I'm saying? There has to be something good about you for someone to want to, come into your space to take something. We must look at it that way. We have so many things that they don't have. A lot. Good weather. Yes. What's wrong with our weather? Our weather is great. Frederick Lugard merged Northern and South. They sent this dude. Do you know they sent a lot of people to explore Nigeria? Many of them died of what? Malaria. So they had to look for the cure. Nigeria was so rich, they refused to give up. They said, we die here. We must go back again. We would rather find the cure to this thing killing us than give up on this African nation. So they came back again. They found the cure. Then it was chloroquine. They found it at the back of a kind of tree. Until advent of, medical advancements, and they found better, medication for malaria than chloroquine, because chloroquine had a bit side effects. 6 years after the Second World War ended, Nigeria divided into Northern, Eastern, and Western. We got our independence 1st of October. Midwest region was added in 1963. Yakubu Gowon subdivided the 4 regions into 12 states. These 12 states increased to 19 in 1979. In 1991, 9 more states were created, 29 in total. But one of the most fascinating things for me is this map. It doesn't make sense. Why do the Northerners have so much space? Who gave them that much space? Who's the Northerner? Are you a Northerner? Please explain to us. Who gave you guys this portion? Anyways, the only rational and logical reason is that our first leader, what's his name? His name starts with T. Tafawa Balewa, all right, was colonized by the British government and was sent by the Queen, all right, to come and ensure that Nigeria remains a British colony. And of course, is what? What part of the country? Is the Northern. And in politics is a game of what? It's a game of chess. The words have an end. Politics is a game of what? Numbers. The highest vote wins the election. So if I give ourselves more large mass land, who is going to have the largest number of votes? That's why it's almost impossible to really succeed as a politician without having the nuts by your side. So the Northerners claim to be the ones that owns this country. Power with, there's no power without them. Anyways, that's my theory. That's a conspiracy theory. I don't know how they got this large master plan and gave the rest of us small portion. But we don't mind. We're all together. We're all Nigerians. Did you reduce after? Are you sure? I don't know if you reduce after. Who coined the name Nigeria? Who designed our Nigeria flag? The color of our flag? How many tribes do we have? In terms of population, what is Nigeria on the global scale? In terms of population? We're number 6 in terms of the world. Number 1 should either be China or India. I'm not sure. Anyways, one of Nigeria's finest, I'm not know House of Tara. They're into what? Cosmetics, makeup. All right. This is the owner of House of Tara, Fela Durotoye. One of our interesting quotes. What we need now is a nation of great people who need to positively impact others and build enduring legacies. Why I'm so pro-Nigeria is because in a few years' time, many of our current leaders will have gone to the other side of the world. They will definitely do what? Kick the buckets. All right, so who's going to be in power? Most of us. What would you do when you get into power? We'll transform our country. So the North still has a large mass. Can you see? We have Nasarawa here, Taraba here. You start having Eastern, Southern, Western, and down below. Nigeria has about 218 million people. We have about 200 tribes, 5th largest oil producer. We have the potential to be the world richest, most endowed. Do you know, when you were continuing this study, Nigeria had so much money at one point in time. We didn't know what to do with money. That's why one of our challenges in Nigeria is what? Not corruption. Leadership. The person who's in charge of those resources, what they now do with those resources, that's our problem. Too much money. Guess what they were doing? They were importing sand. And when they import the sand, they dump the sand somewhere. Because they just needed a reason why somebody will write a check and somebody will, transfer the money and somebody will cash in the money. So we were just, the money was too much. We stumbled into natural resources like what? Like oil. Nigeria is blessed. That's why we have ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil is not Nigerian. It is what? It's British. That's why you have Shell. You have all these countries coming to meet our resources. We can become the most, the tourist place of the destination everybody wants to go visit. There was Tinapa, there was Obudikato Ranch, many things that we can do. So I'm speaking to young minds because very soon you guys will be empowered, become billionaires in dollars. Don't take your money to Netherlands. Invest in Nigeria. All right, to wrap it up, we've answered these questions. By the way, the name Nigeria was from the word River Niger. Over 3,000 designs. Michael Tawo Ekokumi's own became the official flag for Nigeria. Green stands for agriculture. White. The flag was officially unveiled in October. It usually used to have this before with divine protection and guidance. But the British government said, let us take it away because we don't want you guys to become very religious. What resources do you have in your states? Which part of Nigeria has the most beautiful ladies? It's actually the Fulanis, the northern part. Who's the Fulani here? Who's the Fulani? Nobody. Which parts of Nigeria have most people that are more given to education? South. Which part of Nigeria has most people more given to business? South. Southeast. Basically, every part of Nigeria is endowed. It is sad that we want to ignore this beautiful land and move on to a place prone to natural disasters, landslides, earthquake, volcanic eruption. Apart from natural disasters, there are human-made disasters like missiles flying all over the sky. Nigeria is not under attack. We'll stop here today. Any question?